Who stepped on my bacon?
Okay, these are the basic tools and supplies that you'll need to make a knife. I found an old saw blade, and you can see I've already used part of it, but we're going to use this old saw blade to make the knife. And this old steel, it's pretty brittle and solid, so should be able to get a nice sharp edge on that. And we've got the angle grinder. That's the only power tool we're going to use. And you can see we've got a grinding disc on there, and also we have a wire wheel and a pair of pliers to handle the knife blank as we carve it out with the grinder, a file to clean up the edges, and a C-clamp, or you can use a vise. I don't have a vise right here, so I'm just going to use this C-clamp to improvise. And got some 5-minute epoxy. You can get that from Walmart or Home Depot, wherever. And we got some cord right here, just basic nylon fishing line. So we'll get started. Okay, you can see I've got the blade clamped to the rail right here where I'm going to be working, and I've drawn, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I've drawn a pattern of the knife on here, just a basic pattern. We'll go into the detail once we get it cut out, but the first thing we're going to do is draw a little pattern here for our knife, and then we're going to cut with a grinder. We're going to use the grinder and cut a straight line all the way across this blade, and try to get that line nice and straight, and get it cut out most of the way, and then we'll be able to break it off with the pliers. Okay, now that we've got that line ground in there like we wanted, we should be able to break it off fairly easy. If it don't break, you just grind a little more. Alright, there we go. And we've got the blank ready to clean it up and make it look like a knife. Here we're going to take, this is going to be my handle. This is the back of the knife, and this is the front of the knife. I've kind of conveniently used the hole that was in the saw. It's going to kind of be a finger grip on this knife. So I kind of just see where my hand is going to fit the handle, and I'm going to cut off the extra part back here. And also I'm going to clean up this rough edge where we ground down. Just kind of clean this end up a little bit. Alright, here we have the knife. You can see I cleaned up the handle a good bit. It's going to fit nicely in my hand. So you know, I just ground that down and kind of contoured it the way that I thought it would come together, and it looks like that's going to be okay right there. And I'm going to turn it around, clean up the blade a little bit, and we'll get started on that. I'm going to try to get this on video. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but this is kind of the trickiest part to it. It's getting that contour in the blade, and I'm just going to run my grinder at an angle along the blade and get the contour that we're looking for, or the concave, I should say. Now you want to make sure that you don't get your grinder at too much of an angle, or you'll actually gouge into that metal, and you don't want that to happen. And you got to kind of take it easy on the tip, and I try to get the majority of the blade done before I get the tip done, because it's really easy just to knock that tip right off with the grinder. So just take your time, work it down slowly, and kind of use down here at the hilt of the knife, you want to kind of use that as your guide as to see how deep you're going in the metal. You want to get about halfway before you flip the knife over and do the other side. Here you can see we're just about finished with grinding that blade down so that we'll have an edge on it. And next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a file and just kind of clean up the edges of it and trying to smooth out all of this. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a lot of little dents and imperfections caused from the grinder wheel. But if we use a file and take our time and get that done, it should smooth.
Who stepped on my bacon?